Welcome in, everyone, to another session with the Second Chances. I'm your Dungeon Master, Robbie. Look at that, started it a new way for the first time in like 115 sessions. And of course, with me, the Second Chances. We're going to start today, as we always do, with our thank yous to Critical Role for creating the wonderful and sometimes terrifying world of Exandria, as well as all the artists whose music we use, including Reliquary Records, Dungeon Glitch, Critical Role, Hunter Rogertson, and Borislav Slavov. That's all the thank yous. Last time, with the Second Chances, we've had a few good sessions. We had a lot of really not bad sessions like it was a bad game or bad D&D, but like it was a bad time for the characters.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
And the last few days have been pretty good. They got back from the Far Realm, terrifying place where they got to see one of the betrayer gods in its full divinely terrifying form that shook, as the kids would say, a few of the party. And when they got back to their mansion, they were able to kind of spruce it up, you know, buy some stuff for it, make it feel like their own, and Xana disappeared for a day. When she finally came back the next night, she had went around various parts of Exandria and brought certain family members, friends, you know, important people from each of the parties' background, and brought them all together for a big dinner to remind everyone what they were fighting for. Feelings were had, moments were shared, one of which Maeve had told Xana that she loved her in a moment when she found her kind of breaking down and not being able to process emotions. And Xana did not reply with yup or run away, which canonically is an improvement.
That's growth. That's growth.
It only took the multiverse.
I was proud of her.
The next day, everyone kind of went around taking care of a little bit of business. I think it was Hermia Zealous and Leo went down to Port Zune or Nicodranus to check on the ship, collect a little bit of money. Found out that Eagle-Eyed Winston retired from sailing because he lost his foot in a terrible rigging accident. What else?
Maeve was with us too.
Maeve was there too.
Saw that poster.
That's right. You guys found a poster that had the name Farcrest on it, which is a clue from a letter or a journal. Was it a journal or a letter? I think it was a letter.
So we found some kind of a journal, but it was a letter
included
that
with
had
the journal, right?
To this mysterious Halid elf that's apparently not my sister's ex, even though it was named after her, but also my sister says it's not her. I don't know if I believe her.
That was like session 11.
It was.
long ago.
No, I still remember, but yeah.
Yep. And so Farcrest was on the letter, and you found a poster that seemed to have been. It was on like the side of a theater, and I believe the NPC you talked to said that he may have recalled that they were a singer or an opera star of some sort.
Like long ago.
Yes, or maybe that's what the theater was used for, was like opera and stuff like that.
Yeah. You didn't ask what race Farcrest was. Fuck. Anyway.
Zealous also tried to process some of his emotions and some of his memories and some of his trauma with the Crawling King through art, which everyone who's seen the art so far is worried about him. And I think most interestingly, Xenatol, a.k.a. Mr. Black, Xana's former guardian, now handler, had uncharacteristically shown up to leave a sort of a housewarming gift for the party, and was maybe meant to do so without anyone knowing, but Evelyn saw him. Corey got everybody ready for a fight.
I was not there.
And he ended up being invited in for some tea and a very awkward conversation. And I believe that's the majority of what happened. It's been a lot of role play stuff. So we're going to jump back in. I believe it was... I don't know if we had actually taken, like, gotten to, like, the long rest of the night. I think we had probably stopped right after Mr. Black had left. So we'll jump back in there.
Zana and I were out during
Correct.
that time on our little...
So you and Zana will make your way back home. If there is any more sort of little things that anybody wants to potentially wrap up or talk to your NPCs about, now is the time. They spend tonight sort of getting, getting ready, packing up anything that they brought.
I sent my letter to my sister.
You did, yep, that's right. You basically all three of you. You sent a letter from your dad, a letter that your mom wrote, or at least a section, and your own letter.
Yeah. Yes.
So everyone's sort of getting ready tonight. Evelyn and Thiena are like going around and like cleaning up like everywhere, and you're like, stop it. We have money to hire people, and this isn't your house, and nobody's even lives in these rooms. And they're like, don't worry about it. And you're like, oh my God. Roslyn, I believe that there was something that you wanted to talk to Zealous about. So you are able to find Zealous at some point.
I imagine it's late and it's another night of not sleeping. So Roz is just like, fuck this, and gets up, and she's going to go find Zealous. Zealous, where are you hanging out like overnight tonight?
Give me an investigation check.
You said that this is more like in the middle of the night when you can't sleep type deal?
Yeah.
All right, let's hold off on this a little bit then. Corey, you want to find Leo?
Yeah.
Is like the evening fine, or do you need like a midnight rendezvous as well?
Oh no, like evening before everyone goes to bed. I imagine we're probably like everyone's up a little later just because we have guests.
Yeah. If it doesn't have to be private, we'll say that everybody, after having sort of gotten everything packed up, Sarah's like ran around looking for like souvenirs and was like, can I take this to my dad? Can I take this to my dad? Can I take this home, like to my cousins? Can I take this to Mr. Anderin? So Roz, you had to follow her around and like help her find souvenirs for everybody.
Oh God.
But everyone's kind of around in like the lounge/library area, hanging out. Zealous and Evelyn made some cookies. There's chocolate chip. There's raisin. And go ahead and come up with one fucking weird flavor that nobody else is eating, Zealous.
Pine needles.
Cumin.
Human?
Cumin cookies.
I don't want a cumin flavored cookie.
What's cumin?
The spice, and it's not what
okay.
you would put in a cookie.
You don't put it in cookies.
I thought you said human.
I heard human the first few times as well.
I first said human until Callie said cumin, and I went, oh, that's worse.
All right.
Human.
I like cumin too, not in cookies.
I imagine when they bring the cookies in though, and they're like, "What's this?" Zealous goes, "Cumin flavored." And Ross is like, "Excuse me," and Evelyn's like, "Cumin." Zealous, it's cumin.
She takes a chocolate chip one.
Corey, but go ahead. If you do want this to be private, you can always take Leo off to the side.
Yeah, I think what Corey will do, I think Corey will invite Leo to a game of cards, even though Corey's shite at it now.
Just at doing card tricks. You can you can play Goldfish, right? Like you're not gonna screw up that.
Go fish.
Goldfish. It's Goldfish in Exandria.
I was just struggling because that's what I thought it was as a kid. I thought the game was called Goldfish.
Yeah, and just make it small talk, and then I'll say in Leo's head, can we talk, but act like we're still playing?
Out loud, I'll ask, got any fives? In the back of your head, you'll hear, what's up? Hopefully everything's okay.
Yeah, I'm good. I have something that I'm not sure how to approach, and I'm just a little nervous about bringing it to the entire group, just because I know everyone's dealing with their own thing right now.
Like, what are you afraid the group's gonna get mad at you for it, or is it for someone
Maybe.
else?
Zealous has been off. I'm sure you've noticed, like,
Those
Rosin's on her.
paintings.
Yeah, yeah. And they're beautiful. They're just horrific at the same time. You remember when I said, like, oh, I'm just gonna wipe my memories as a joke? Well, Zealous asked me to, and I didn't do it, but...
Well, do you think it'd help him?
I mean, this is where I'm kind of getting stuck, right? Because, we're adventurers. We've seen some bad shit, but I don't think many adventurers have seen the face of a teeth god. So I don't know if normal ethics applies, right? Like, I can't just be like, just go to therapy. Like, no, that's a cosmically life-changing, terrible experience that no one can, no one shares that, right? So it's like, I know that we made it out okay, but...
So are you talking about using the modify memory spell?
Yeah.
See, I've only seen that used nefariously in my past, where...
I know, and
But this is actually kind of a good way of using it.
Oh.
Like, I've never heard of anybody using it to try to heal trauma, but I don't know how effective it would be, considering divinity works differently.
Yeah.
But if it can offer him some kind of reprieve, I have no qualms about it, personally.
Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking, but it's like, I know that it's like, I know that some people would be upset about it, because I get it, right? Like you said, it's mainly a thing that's used for evil and not really a good thing, but it's like, I just feel that, I feel like we're out of our depth here, as far as like determining, like, I don't know how to make my best friend feel better. And I know that it takes time, and I know that it takes work, but at the same time, I also know that the path that we're heading down is just leading to more of this. And it's like,
hopefully not more gods.
I mean, end of the world stuff. I don't know. We're facing the daddy god of all gods, so.
True.
Yeah,
maybe we should consult a higher mage of some kind, someone who actually understands these spells.
Wait, there's like a therapy wizard out there?
Oh, I don't think there's not like a therapy wizard, but there might be someone who understands how magic affects trauma like this.
Yeah.
But I don't think the party, like, some of them might have apprehension to it, but if we talk about it, I doubt they'll shoot it down outright. Especially if we look at it from different angles, like how can we use magic to help all three of them, to be honest? Because I know Zana's been having trouble sleeping, and Rosalind's just been fucking her trauma away, so...
Okay, alright, I don't want to hear about that.
Well, we all heard it.
Okay, gross!
Heard it!
I guess I just don't know. I'm nervous because if they say no, I don't know if that's fair to Zealous.
I understand that.
Because I want him to choose and to be able to decide that they can work through it and that, you know, that they'll rely on us and that, you know, they can beat all the odds and, you know, fuck that god, you know, and just move on from it. But as someone who, I mean, you kind of understand it too. Sometimes we have to make bad choices to grow.
You have to live with your choices. So, kind of understand where some would have apprehension against trying to forget what happened. But I still don't think a simple modify memory would fix this entirely.
Right.
I think it would just be a band-aid to a bigger issue.
Yeah.
But I don't think it would hurt to actually bring it up to the whole party. So if you want, we can have like a team meeting before we all go to bed.
Yeah. Let me check in with Zealous. I just want to make sure that they're okay with potential intervention-y talk. But thank you, Leo. I appreciate it.
No need for thanks. I have your back till the day I die.
So, just out of curiosity, so Leo and Corey are kind of over at one of the tables playing cards, having this conversation in their head. You know, everyone's kind of in here hanging out for a few hours before going to bed. What does everybody imagine they're doing in the sort of lounge/library area?
My mom's gone, right?
Nope, they're all still here. They'll be leaving in the morning. So everybody is in here, except for the coin accord. They left early because they were afraid that authorities might come for them.
Like, I mean, I can make Maeve kind of be wherever she needs to be, but
it's not like a super important thing. Just a little sort of character building thing is, you know, in here with all of these people, just how do you think you're occupying your time? It can be with any of the NPCs. It doesn't have to be just you. It can be with one of the party members.
I forgot that I wanted to see if Evelyn knew Farcrest. But either way, I would probably be doing some casual chatting.
You can ask Evelyn if the name Farcrest means anything to her.
I will get a chance.
Zealous would be in the kitchen learning how different recipes.
Rosalind, how, on a scale of 1 to 10, how big of a fan of like the theater and opera do you think Evelyn is?
I mean, she's in Taurus, she was a performer by trade, so I think she likes it.
Give her advantage. She rolled an 18 and a 19. When you bring up the name Farcrest, asking if she has any idea, if she's heard of it, she says, "Do you mean Miss Maddie Farcrest, the opera singer?"
Blake? What do you know of her?
They called her the voice of a lifetime. She was the Kalishtar star. She was often billed as. Never got a chance to see her myself before she retired. But why do you ask?
Kind of crazy, but there's someone I'm trying to find, and my connection to finding them apparently Farcrest wrote them a letter.
And you think that it's Miss Maddie, the...
I guess I don't really know. It's just that the first time I've ever heard a connection to Farcrest has been an opera singer.
Oh,
so.
well,
How old would she be right now?
Oh, she passed away some time ago, a few years after she retired, if my memory serves. I mean, it's very possible that she potentially had family, I suppose.
I see.
But so as you look at what you had written down from what you were able to, and in the little bit that you've now been able to fill in with what Evelyn has told you, the poster said, "Don't miss the voice of a lifetime, Miss Maddie Farcrest. Behold the talented Kalishtar star."
It was Kalishtar star.
Mm-hmm.
Strange. I'm gonna look back at the letter I have.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
gosh, did I actually write out a letter?
Yes, you did. God, I need to go back to Notion. Give me a second.
No, it's all right. I'm looking it up right now as well.
Oh, okay.
Let's see.
I know it's on there.
Yeah, that was in Bisatile.
I'm pretty sure I have a mission.
Was
that's
that
called the letter, the Power Grove letter or
Aftermath? Ah, yes. Dearest Gwenla, all of the information you've gathered has been put to use. The next stage of the plan is already in motion. I'm still not entirely convinced myself if it will work or not, but not trying just leaves us where I found you. If it does work, then our mission has only just begun. I'll be in town in around 3 weeks' time. Stay out of sight, and I'll have our next moves planned by the time I arrive. Stay strong, Moonlight, Farcrest.
Yeah. And by the time we found that letter, we just assumed they were both had been gone already.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this Farcrest is very much alive and active, so I doubt it's that person.
I'm afraid I'm not really sure how common of a surname Farcrest is.
Right. Trying to think if there's anything else she could tell me. Sorry, I'm not really sure.
No, that's fine. Yeah, so you just spend the rest of the night kind of talking. That probably gets her going on some of her other favorite singers or shows. And Rosalind, you realize that even in this world, Evelyn has a interest, but given the size of the family that she has to take care of, she never quite found that time to pursue her own hobbies much further than that. Hermia, what are you doing?
Me?
Yeah.
I will look for L2.
Yeah. Leander and your mom are in there as well.
Oh, my mom.
Yep. Your mom.
I'm gonna try. I'll be like, hey, Leander, can I talk to you in my room for a sec?
Yeah, sure. We'll be right back. And he says to Cordelia, and the two of you walk out into the hallway.
So, you and my mom are talking.
Our mom?
I said my mom.
Right. I mean, she's mine too, in the same way that you're my sister, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, so, I guess, what made you want to talk to this version?
She's a little bit different than, I guess, my version.
How so?
She hasn't really been acting like that much of a bitch while she's been here.
Well, to be fair, she one kid died, the other ran away from home and essentially said, like, I'm never coming back. And her husband has basically ignored her and disappeared.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that can change you.
I guess. I was just curious, like, is she better than
in the 2 nights that we've gotten to know each other here, yeah. I mean, isn't everybody different than what they probably were before all of this? You know, before your Leander and, you know, you leaving home. If you went back, you know, however long it was since you left home to see yourself, do you think you'd look different? Do you think you would be acting differently?
I suppose. I mean, when I saw her and told her, like, you know, about everything that's happened, she was just kind of like, she still seemed like really centered on herself and how hard, like, her situation is. And just very still, like, much the same, but just sad. And I don't know what I was expecting, you know, when I saw her again. Because she didn't even look for you. She just automatically was like, oh, he's dead. Let's move on, carry on. And I guess I don't know, I'm still having trouble getting past that.
Look, I'm not going to try to make excuses, but different people just deal with things in different ways. And sometimes our minds or our bodies try to just push things away or forget things. And I think that the most important thing is what's happening now. And it seems like she's trying. And, you know, as I've been getting to learn more about everyone, you know, I think probably the biggest theme, aptly so, amongst everyone's story is second chances. So, you know, if everyone gets at least one,
You are like this world's version of Leander in that way, I guess. He was not cold, but just, I guess, like, more level-headed than I was. More, I guess, forgiving and willing to see the best in people who have historically just kind of let you down over and over and over again. It's nice. It's a good quality. I wish I could be more like that sometimes.
Well, now's your chance.
I suppose. I don't know if I'm ready to actively work on that. Already? Oh, that's early.
It was clicking.
Yep.
But, and I don't know, like, how often I'm gonna be here, but you can let Mom know if she would like to stay here.
No, I think this is your mansion. I'm just a guest, so I think
it's your mansion too.
I think that you should go in and let her know.
Oh God. Okay, but you're coming with me.
Fine. As you two
do not bamf away.
As you two turn and start to walk back in, Leo puts a hand on Leander's shoulder and says, I need to talk to you, and pulls him out into the hallway, and he just kind of gives you like this shrug look and closes the doors behind him. As the doors...
I'm just like alone in the...
As the doors close, you watch as Cordelia stands up. Hermia, I'm just going to ask because I cannot stand the drama of the uncertainty of not knowing or leaving it to the last minute, and so I'd like to be able to stay here with you.
Yeah. I was actually gonna say that if you wanted to stay here, you can.
Really?
Yes.
She crosses the room very quickly and throws her arms around you and starts to, like, try to hide her sobbing.
I will stiffen, and in my head, I'm, like, calling out to Roz, like, help, help, help.
Roz is roughhousing with Cerberus and is now like, it's rude to eavesdrop. Stop listening in.
Mm-hmm. Evelyn is smiling. Like, as your eyes kind of dart across the room looking for someone to help you, you see that Evelyn is just smiling at you and kind of gives you a little bit of a nod, Hermia.
I will kind of, like, pat her back awkwardly. Like, it's fine, really. I just I don't know if I can be, like, super, like, let's all be, like, doing mother-daughter stuff just yet. But I do know that I don't want you to like, disappear and I don't see you again. So just give me some time to get used to she, like, gestures around as she's still sobbing, even though she can't see this. And, you know, I can't make any promises, but I mean, I feel like we can at least be friends.
Kind of nods and wipes her face. Sorry, that was very unbecoming of me. No, that's I know. I have a lot to make up for. We could maybe, start small. We could go for breakfast or brunch. I could tell you a bit more about Senna, your real father, if you'd like.
Oh, Mr. Dad?
Yeah. Yep.
Maybe. Although it's kind of been fun kind of learning stuff from him, because, Dad was
yeah, sure. I mean, if it just
not interested in anything to do with me.
If you're curious about, like, how we met or just anything, it's okay. All right. And she looks around awkwardly at everyone. I think I'll maybe turn in a little early tonight.
Sure. I'll talk to you later.
Leo, what conversation are you having with L2?
Well, I'm going to put my arm around him, and I'm going to start walking us down towards the stables.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. What is happening?
Oh, God.
What is this?
Because he's smooching with Triv.
Hold on.
So...
Does he even know, though?
Yep.
How would you know?
He saw it.
He saw it.
Did?
Yeah.
That's how any of us know about it.
I thought, like, Robbie narrated it, but I didn't think no
Nope.
one rolled anything, so I didn't know, like, we saw.
Leo and Helesna saw.
Yep.
Oh.
So I take it you've taken a fancy to Triv.
Sorry?
You and Triv are dating?
I don't think she would call it that.
Well, of course, because the last 3 guys that I saw try to hit on her, she broke their nose. So you've gotten farther than anyone else.
If you say so.
So, do you have feelings for her?
It's been like 2 days.
And Roz and Maeve only known each other for 2 weeks. and they were
What?
together. Or was it a month? I can't remember. The last couple of months have been kind of just...
Maeve is
Like
with
8 weeks before
Sana.
The love triangle in this group is kind of weird. It's kind of like a love pentagram or icosahedron if you want to go at it, but...
Icosahedrons have 20 sides? There's not that many of you.
Yeah, Maeve has a whole harem of people.
All right.
Wow.
And
So-
his heart just shattered in a million pieces.
I just wanted to give you my blessing, but I also wanted to warn you that you hurt Triv in any way.
Oh,
It's
Leo,
just
I can
me.
take care of myself. You don't need to go sticking your nose into everyone's business. Triv is at the stable doors and has been listening in this whole time.
I only do this because I love you and Hlesna.
Sure. You, run along now. And L2 kind of just gives like this awkward look to both of them and then just like takes his leave. Why are you so weird?
Because I care about you guys.
Okay, if you care about me, mind your own business. What I do in my spare time and who isn't any of yours. So spend less time worrying about that and maybe more time trying to find someone for yourself. You know, I think that now we're in the Shimmer Ward here, you could probably find yourself a pretty upscale old folks home to go hang out in from time to time.
Oh, I'm thinking about going back to the Feywild and bagging me some other strain.
Oh, okay, yep, this got weird. And she turns to leave as well.
Oh, what are your intentions with my sister's roommate?
I consider Triv almost a sister, too.
So a few more hours go by. Everyone eventually finds their way up to their rooms for the night. Rosalind.
Yeah.
Having trouble sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
You decide to look for Zealous. So I guess make your investigation check to see if you can find him.
I got an 11.
Zealous?
Yeah.
Where are you with an 11?
Using your investigation, you can smell something unusual coming from the kitchen.
With great trepidation, Roz will make her way downstairs. She's probably like going to... that's where the training room would be anyway. So yeah, she'll head on down that way and kind of like peek her head into the kitchen. Zealous, you all right?
Oh, hello, Roz. You see Zealous behind what appears to be 4 or 5 just large stacks of pancakes, probably about 10 to 15 tall.
That is a lot of pancakes.
Yes, I am working on perfecting my pancakes before the morning because apparently some of my earlier iterations were not the best.
Hold on. Is Zealous skilling up his cooking skills on pancakes?
Yes.
That's what you do.
His cooking skill just rose 0.2 points.
Great. Continue.
Roz nods as she looks at them, and she'll come in and kind of like lean against the counter.
Would you like a pancake?
Sure. And
We have
Take
nutmeg pancakes, sage pancakes, paprika pancakes, saffron pancakes, star anise pancakes, wasabi pancakes, vanilla pancakes, licorice pancakes, thyme pancakes, turmeric pancakes, tarragon pancakes. I don't even know what tarragon is. Would you like to try that one?
No. I'll go with I guess I guess vanilla probably would be the safest bet on that one. And she takes one and bites into it and goes, "How much vanilla?" Out of curiosity.
as you bite into it, there is literally a stick of vanilla in the center of the pancake.
Weird because vanilla doesn't even come in sticks; it comes in beans. But okay, so
Okay,
that's
a stick
doubly
of the
concerning.
bean. The
Yeah,
bean.
okay.
A bean
Very,
stick.
very
you know.
distressing. Yeah, a bean
Very
stick.
expensive too.
It's a very
I
expensive
don't know,
pancake. It's the
like
most
if
expensive
that would
pancakes you ever eaten.
be, if that would be, like, is it really vanilla or is it just what he thinks is vanilla?
He was definitely told it was vanilla.
I'd be leery.
Roz is definitely leery. But she takes a bite and politely swallows it before setting it down. So, you can't sleep
How was
either.
it?
It was conceptually adventurous. You're not sleeping either?
No, I'm making pancakes.
You don't really have to sleep, do you?
Well, normally I have time of stasis, but when I go into stasis, all I can see is darkness and teeth and gnashing.
Roz just nods, knowing exactly what you mean. Yeah. Yeah, I can't close my eyes either.
It's okay. Best friend Corey said that she would make me forget it all.
Do you want to?
Yes, very much.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I get why. It's, I think this is the second time in my life now I've seen something that I wished I could forget. Can I ask something?
You just did.
True.
You can ask another thing if you'd like.
We haven't really gotten a ton of chance to talk about it. We've been doing one thing after the next, after the next. How are you doing with your mom? I know how hard it is to lose a parent.
That is another thing that I wish I could forget, but it is not something that I wish I could forget.
She nods.
If that makes sense.
It does. Yeah. Before my mom died, I saw her, and I remember when I was a kid, I thought she had a tree growing inside of her. I mean, it was her blood had turned black, so the veins looked like roots to me as a kid, but it's not a good memory.
Were her veins hard?
Yeah, the rot that killed her and my dad, where it makes your blood turn into this black sludge until it just can't be pushed by your heart anymore, and your heart gives out. That's how you die. Not a good way to go.
Is that what you had?
It's what I thought was going to kill me. Yeah. You talked to your mom lately?
No.
Why not?
I don't know. After so long of not talking to her, maybe it would be weird to talk to her after she's been dead.
Yeah. Probably still like to hear from you. Still talk to my birth parents sometimes. Probably been longer than it should be. Probably should have talked to them sooner. Have you talked to her since she died?
No.
Roz walks over and kind of leans against the counter next to you. Well, neither of us can sleep anyway, so why don't we both talk to our parents?
I guess we could.
Roz kind of glances out into the room. Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad. Sorry I haven't talked to you lately. Things have been really hard lately. I'm trying to do what you told me. Want to make the world better, but so fucking hard. I feel like a grain of sand against a tidal wave. Like no amount of work or effort is ever going to make a difference. Not a real one. And there's a lot of good things out there, and there's a lot of really bad things, and I miss you. Wish you could be here to just tell me I'm on the right track, or that I'm not wasting my life, that I'm not hurting every day for nothing. And I'm not sorry that I saw you before you died. Because as bad as it hurts, the reason I am who I am. Take care of each other. Love you. And Roz reaches up and wipes a tear out of her eye.
That was nice.
Yeah. I was really young when they passed, but I can't remember what they looked like anymore or what their voices sounded like. The different things that you remember. I remember that my mom smelled like lilac. I remember the feeling of my dad's rough hands when he would hold me. He was a carpenter. It's little things you cling on to. She motions to you. All right.
This feels weird, but okay.
Yeah.
Hello, Dr. Fernelius. Mother. Sorry I have not talked to you before. It's been a long time since I accidentally, on purpose, killed you. But you are going to blow up everyone. And I knew it's what you would have wanted. Things are going good. Not really. We fought against a god, and now a lot of my friends and myself are really messed up. Some of us aren't, but a lot of us are. And it's really hard. Sure would be nice to be back in the cave and just be doing normal nature stuff again.
Make a wisdom ability check for me, please.
Ability check.
D20,
check or saving throw?
D20, add your wisdom modifier to it.
Is it disadvantage because
No.
I'm crazy?
In fact, you get an additional plus 10 on it, so a 32.
Oh,
Okay.
shit, what?
No. Okay.
As Zealous is saying these things, Roz, you notice the creases between like his joints, like where things can move, the sort of green lights on him begin to glow a little bit. There's a glow that kind of like moves through them, and you see the star that's on his chest kind of like lights up a little bit, and Zealous doesn't seem to notice it. And as you are finishing up that last thing that you said, Zealous, you both notice a very slight glow, almost like a lightning bug, green glow in the kitchen with you. That glow just kind of moves in the air for a minute and then starts to trace a shape, and that shape starts to fill out, and it looks like it's a leaf, just this little illuminated green leaf, and then another one, and another, and then vines start to appear. These sort of illuminated, almost like transparent, glowing leaves and vines, and as they appear, they begin to move faster, tracing and drawing something out, and within maybe 15, 20 seconds, you see standing before you this ethereal form made of just these glowing leaves and vines of Dr. Fernelius. Kind of looks around a bit confused at first, but seems to accept where she is pretty quickly. And then looks to you, Zealous, and kind of takes a step forward and reaches out her hand. And as her fingertips brush your cheek and chin, they kind of pass into it a bit, but you can feel it as if she was here. Hello, Zealous.
Mother?
She nods. I heard you calling out to me.
What is this?
Puts a hand to the sort of star and the glow on your chest. I think it's you. Using the gift that the Wild Mother gave you. I just want you to know that it wasn't you that did that to me. I know all you were doing was protecting your friends. So you don't need to. You shouldn't blame yourself. You don't need to worry about me either. I'm in a very good place now. And you're still here? Saving people and being a hero? And so that means that in a way I'm still here too. And she takes your hands into hers.
Having a real hard time right now.
I know. And I can't promise that it's going to get any easier. Life is filled with hard times, but it's filled with good ones too. It can be difficult sometimes to focus on the good times. But that's what you have friends and family for. So whenever you have trouble thinking about the good times or the bad times seem worse, you have to go to your friends and make more good times with them.
Okay, Mother.
You're doing such a good job. I'm so proud of you. And as scary as some of the things out there might be, remember that you got a God inside of you too. And she taps your chest, which means you're just as strong as they are. And you're here, not locked away somewhere else, so you can actually affect this world way more than they can. She pulls you into a hug.
Thank you.
And for the love of the Wild Mother, please use a cookbook.
I'm just going through every possible iteration.
Yeah.
That way I can determine what is the optimal solution.
Decades and decades of people have already done that. There's certain things you can just skip over.
But what if they're wrong?
It's hard to argue with that.
Please argue harder, though.
Please.
Please try.
Please try.
She kind of pulls back and just has her hands on your shoulders. You're going to be okay. And if you ever need me, I'm here for you.
You want to meet my friends, Mama?
I'd love to. Right now, or do you want to try a different day?
How long do you have?
I'm not sure.
Okay, well, we can start with Roz. She's right over.
Roz excused herself to go exercise.
Roz, what's your passive perception?
10.
Okay, don't worry about it.
Okay, cool.
All right. I think what you did here was some sort of spell that you cast, so I'm sure you'll be able to reach out to me again, and I'll come back.
Okay. All right. Before you go, do you want to try a lemongrass pancake?
Oh, darling, I'm just a projection of divine energy from beyond. So fortunately, I can't eat it.
Did you say fortunately or unfortunately?
Goodbye. And she fades away. Make a wisdom saving throw for me at advantage.
14.
Even inspo, come on. This is sad.
Oh, fine. I'll inspo. Gosh, making me
I didn't
use
say you had to. I'm just saying it's sad.
21.
There we go.
I would like you to keep track. You have 1 of 3 successes. As you stand here now in the silence and the darkness of the kitchen, there's a certain sense of relief. You've known that, your mother passed on to somewhere, but being able to actually speak to her, there's a sense of relief knowing, or at least experiencing for yourself in some way that, the end of life isn't the end. And knowing that connection is there, however brief it may be, helps to assuage some of that turmoil that you've been feeling. Mark off a 4th level spell slot as you just inadvertently cast Spirit Calling.
If you'd like to try out the Spirit Calling spell, make sure to check out the Cloaks and Capes Patreon.
I wondered why that didn't sound familiar.
Actually, it should have sounded familiar because you edited Spirit Calling.
Oh, fair enough. Like, it's been a minute.
All right. Zealous, you get a long rest. Roslyn,
Yeah.
make a wisdom saving throw for me. With advantage, following this chat with Zealous.
Why not? Maybe tonight's the night. 17.
You go and train for... Well, it's hard to tell time at nighttime, but after going through, a few reps, you find that exhaustion actually starts to hit you. And wandering back upstairs to a snoring Hermia in your bed, you lay down next to her, watch her sleep for a little while, and before you know it, you drift off as well, and you get a long rest. Even Zana gets a long rest.
I said 2 long rests in a row.
All right, yeah, that's right. So you all awake the next morning as everyone is getting ready to leave. Everyone says their goodbyes. Ceres goes around and has to give a hug to everyone.
I understand.
She lets her patron know that she will check in regularly. In fact, she comes to you and goes, Corey, I know that we talked about in my contract, so my pact, that it's like every month we'll, have a talk or we'll renegotiate, but
It was every birthday.
Looks to Evelyn. Was it? She nods. Frick. Okay, well, I will still let you know how my progress and my training goes, and can I? She runs off like further into the house. And everyone's just kind of looking at each other like, what was that about? And then Corey, you hear in your head, if I try really hard, can I talk to you? Can you hear me?
Oh no. Corey says out loud.
And then you hear from around the corner, did you hear that?
No!
Could you shatter a little
Did you hear this? Corey?
Yes. Yes, I hear you.
She comes running back around. I can talk to Corey in her head! I'm going to let you know about my training and everything that's going on every single day.
Okay. Maybe we can set some boundaries.
It's like having a sending stone without needing to worry about the sending stone.
Oh gosh! Wow! Yeah.
Roz, we can talk all the time now. If I tell Corey to tell you something, then you can tell Corey to tell me something.
Oh, well, you know what? We're gonna have more respect for Corey's agency than that.
Sometimes, maybe.
Sometimes when it's important.
Oh wait, I can always just come and visit you in dreams now,
You can come visit
too.
in my dreams. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, we'll do that.
Okay.
Okay.
you.
Where's Faye at? And you realize Faye isn't here. You saw her at breakfast.
Oh no.
Why? Why? Oh no.
Pull out the sending stone. Hey, baby girl. Where you at? My anxiety. Where are you?
I'm up in your room.
Oh, thank God. Run upstairs.
As you head upstairs, you see that the door is a bit ajar. And as you go in, you actually hear her talking just inside. As you are coming, do you stop at the door to listen, or do you just head in?
Nope, I go in.
So as you are getting closer, what you do hear. So whatever you two have been through, I'm sure I wouldn't even be able to imagine it, but you know, you're here now, and like my grandpa used to say, and as you open the door, she kind of turns and sees you, and you see that she's holding Gil's card box. As my grandpa used to say, any day can be a new chapter. And you just need to turn the page and start writing. And as she's saying this, she's talking to Gil, but she's also looking at you, Corey. Whatever happens, though, between the two of you, I just want you to know that I'm thankful for the two of you finding each other and the choices that you've made to be able to get here. Because it's brought so many other people together because of it. So thank you, Gil. She puts the card box back onto the shrine. Okay, is it time to go?
Yeah, can we talk outside of the room?
Yeah, sure. As she starts to come towards you, you see that the box starts to kind of glow and shine a little bit. And you can feel, I think, just your sort of inherent connection to it. You can feel that it's sort of opened, like it's inviting you in right now.
I just kissed Faye on the cheek. Thank you for doing that. It's very sweet. We'll talk about it, because I felt like a weird boundary was crossed a little bit, but we'll talk about it. Love you, bye. Jumps in the box.
As you get pulled into the box, she's pulled in along with you.
Oh, gosh.
And the two of you find yourself in the sort of dark void, just like... I mean, you've been in the box, obviously, plenty of times before, but it hasn't been, like prettied up. There's nothing here. It's just inside the box. You don't see Gil, but you feel his presence. Hello, Corey and Faye. Those were very kind words.
Hi. Can I see you, Gil?
You watch as purple smoke sort of appears and starts to apparate, and you see Gil in the way that he has been appearing the last few times you saw him, not, dressed up in this sort of ostentatious, over the top way, and he looks older now, a bit sort of gaunt. It's a vision of what you would expect a prisoner who's been in captivity for a very long time to look like. And Faye kind of reaches over and just sort of grabs your arm a bit, probably surprised as he appears. And he's looking at Faye as he appears. Why didn't you take the box? She looks at you like she's not sure if she should answer or if she should... Like, I think after what you had mentioned just before being pulled in and sort of the appearance of Gil, she definitely feels very much kind of like a third wheel right now.
She didn't take the box, Gil, because she's my girlfriend, and she wouldn't take something important from me, even if it meant something as crazy as a wish.
I have everything I need, honestly, or that I could want, and yeah, taking it a genie for myself would have ruined that. And I don't need any wishes because, you know, the two of you making it as far as you have basically granted me the biggest wish that I could have had. I can tell that what you feel for one another is very real and is very strong, even in the short time it has been.
Yeah. I hold Faye's hand. I love her.
I know. And I've seen people who love like the two of you do. I've seen families of blood and by bonds like the second chances. And every single one that I've seen has fallen into ruin over my powers. I have never once seen when someone is given the chance to say, take the box, has ever put family or love above it. And it's hard to believe in something that you've never seen.
I know. But I'm not asking you to believe in something you can't see. I just want you to believe in me. And when I say that I'm your friend and that these people who are my family are your friends too, I want you to trust that. And I'm sorry for how I'd been in the past, a brat, and Faye's right, I wouldn't be here if it weren't for you. But I don't need a patron. Because guess what? And I just do a little minor illusion. I'm a patron now myself. Okay,
no, I'm
really?
kidding.
Over.
Counterspells a cantrip.
I'm a patron too.
Mm-hmm. No, he's just listening as you talk.
So now that we're both patrons, we're kind of like on, equal footing, So we can just start with being friends. I hold up my hand.
I believe that I probably bear some of the responsibility for your brat girl summer, as it were. I see the way your friend Zana has been changing around the others, and so there's probably a lot of me in the way you act. I think changelings tend to reflect those around them. I really want what all of you have to be real, to be true. And I hope that it is. Because the natures of mortals have... They only take, they only want, they never give.
Well, they are the real deal. And I can't speak for how other people have treated each other because of you. But what those people do, that's on them. And it's unfair to look at me and my family and my friends like that. So, if we do this, there's gonna be a lot of changes. And I know that when we were first getting started, it was just adventure this, adventure that, and stuff, and, you know, I want them to get to know you, and then you'll see for yourself.
I suppose if they want to, but I don't know that I'm worth knowing. It may be better for everyone if you were to just, now that you don't need me, just find a nice big dark hole to throw this card box down so that the age of Gil is over with and I don't have to go through all of it again.
You won't, because I'm not doing that.
Well, all right, you're the one in the driver's seat now then, Your Majesty.
Yeah. I say, everyone's leaving, and, well, time to introduce you now. And Corey just takes Faye and themselves out of the box.
All right. And then you're running downstairs with the box?
Yep.
All right. Faye and Corey come running downstairs excitedly, holding the card box in their hands.
Roz sees them and sees the box and immediately picks up Ceres and says, "Why don't we go play outside before you have to go?" She does not want Ceres to meet a genie.
Mm-hmm.
That is just not something she needs in her life. She doesn't want it.
Mm-hmm. So Zana's there as well, and is getting ready to leave with. So Evelyn, Ceres, Faye, and Thienna are the ones who are all leaving. Evelyn and Ceres, being from Western, are going to be taken to the Cobalt Soul by Zana. So as you're doing that, Zana goes, we can just, we've said our goodbyes, so I'll take her and Evelyn, so they, give your final goodbyes. Zana's met Gil before. So they leave to take off, and Thiena is just waiting on Amu to show up to be able to transport via plants her back. Halesna and Triv are staying for a few more days, but they also plan to eventually go back to Zadash when a free, as Triv calls it, tree door is available. And Leander, L2, and Cordelia are now, until any of you say otherwise, permanent residents of the Second Chances Manor. So as Faye and Corey come down and Corey explains, like, hey, I want to do a little bit of a reintroduction, you decide it's probably best if it's just the core group for now. So all of you minus Zana gather in the lounge area.
You're sure about this, Corey?
I would like to meet the guy who saved my life.
Yeah, I know that it's complicated, and I know that you guys have your concerns, but if there's anything that you guys have taught me, is that everyone gets a second chance.
To imagine at some point Roz is like, you can't keep using that on us.
Yeah,
this is
right,
bullshit.
You say that for everyone.
It's our thing, Zana, okay?
She tries.
Zana's not here.
Roz tries to say at one
I
point
yell it
for
out.
Ophelia Mardude, and we just look at her.
I'm just saying.
I tease.
And it'll be different now. Because I know who I am now. I know what I want. And what I want is for this to work. Because he's also seen his fair share of terrible things, bad people, and I can't think of anyone else in the world than you guys, I don't know, to help him find his way.
Okay. How do we want to do this?
Can
Well-
you leave the box? Or do we have to go in?
I start piling up all the different pancakes that Zealous has been experimenting with. I say, yeah, everyone pile in! And just...
What do the pancakes have to do with anything?
This girl always gives me food when I go in there.
So I
I'm
think
bringing
that
him
when
food.
you set it down and try to sort of go in with everyone, it doesn't work. Because he is no longer your patron, so you can only go into the box when he allows you into the box.
Okay.
So there's just this sort of awkward moment of Corey being like, all right, everyone in. And
Well, like last
nothing
time we just kinda-
happens.
Maybe he doesn't want pancakes.
I
Are we
knock on the
supposed to do
box.
something?
As you knock on the box, there is a knock on the door from the sort of gallery that leads into the lounge.
Go in to look at who's there.
As you open the door, standing at the side is an older version of the guild that you met in what I would say isn't necessarily, a super sort of fancy suit, but is very, like, kind of formal-ish, but looks very different from the version that you had met last time when you went into the card box. And he kind of steps in. You can tell that he's not here, It's a projection of some sort. Since we are redoing introductions, I thought perhaps we could try it in your meat space.
You could do this the whole time?
Yes.
What?
He's a genie.
To an extent, I have to be within a certain radius of my vessel.
Fine. We could have gone to the bar or something. You were just a voice in my head for most of my childhood.
Walks up and like puts his hand through your face. It's an illusion. I can't do anything.
Either way, welcome
People
to
would
our
have
keep.
asked questions if they saw you sitting with an imaginary illusion. Look, it doesn't matter. That's the past. I thought we were focusing on the future.
Okay. Yeah, sit down. Try this, onion pancake.
He gives you this look and reaches for the onion pancake, and his hand goes through it.
Oh.
You're not missing much.
Say that in front of Silas.
Actually, you are missing an onion pancake.
That's fair. He is.
So, reintroductions are in order?
Yeah. Gil?
I'm Gildana, the genie and Prince Quarry's former patron.
And
Hi.
friend.
And friend.
Rosalind, Corey's sister. And I usually don't forgive people who hurt my family, but if Corey trusts you, then all right.
Time Avra. I'm also here to support Corey.
I'm Hermie. I gave you a rock once.
I remember. It was a pretty good rock. I think it's in the Summer Court's royal vault now. It was in the Hoard of Gold that I gave back.
Oh, but I gave you that. Corey didn't.
It was just all a big... It's the thought that
I'll
counts.
find you a new
and-
rock.
It was a messy breakup. He
great.
just dumped all of his stuff on the side of the
Well,
street.
I'm gonna find a new rock.
Sounded like you wanted it back, so I gave it all back.
I'm gonna find a new one. I'll give it to you.
Splendid.
I am Zealous. You rejected my onion pancake.
I cannot have it. I am just a illusion.
It's okay, you can have it.
All right.
And I'm Leonidas would smile. And if I could shake your hand for saving my life in the far realm, I would.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Saw what you did.
Actually, we didn't.
I did with my perception.
Well, you're old, so your perception probably isn't super great.
Gil!
I mean, he's not
But
wrong.
That's just kind of him fitting in.
Yeah, he just didn't say anything like mean. It's just kind of like he is old.
I feel
Okay.
like if any of your friends agree with something that I say, it's not as mean as you think it is.
Okay, fair enough.
He gives you a knowing nod, Hermia. Like, you got my back, I got your back.
Oh! And then, where's Leander? Is he still...
I think he might be talking to Cordelia.
Yeah, I think him and Cordelia probably like went out for like some brunch. You guys were out of the good wine, and Cordelia's like, brunch has mimosas, and they left.
Yeah.
Yep, that's my mom.
I think we
Gotta
wanted to
have
keep
the
this with
mimosa.
just the party anyway, so.
I have a question, Corey. And I might have asked you this, but I forget stuff. Like, is like Gil like trapped in his like box? Like, I know he can project himself out, but like, I don't know. Can he like have a house and shit? Like a real house, like a.
Actually, yeah, good question. Is there a way to get you out of that thing?
Yes.
Like, can we free you?
Yes, that is the quest, I suppose, that Corey and I have been on up until she was chosen to save the multiverse.
Oh. Well, wait, aren't we like 2/3 of the way on that one?
Yeah, didn't she give you the phoenix feathers?
The Phoenix
I died
feather.
for those.
Yeah.
Sorry? He looks to Corey. You...
Sorry,
You found phoenix pinions.
And the white dragon thing, right?
Yeah.
You have both of the items that I need to be free of my vessel.
Yes. I was gonna give it to you that night, and then
What night?
we fought.
The night
in
we
the
fought?
Feywild. Yes.
So you've had them for a minute?
To be fair, we got the phoenix feathers. Like, didn't Leo, you disintegrated? And then,
Yeah.
like,
And
you
we
got
were in
back,
further-
and then,
and
like,
were
we
in
got
further
kidnapped.
Yeah, it's
And
been a
then-
whole thing that you've missed.
Yeah, and then we were stuck in the fire. Like, we have not rested until.
I
like,
mean, I've been
now.
here, but because our pact was broken, I just wasn't able to keep up on things, but I've been here, free of the vessel. I could have perhaps helped. In fact, when all of the accumulated items are given to me is when Corey would have gotten her third wish. And so
Yeah.
you've just been holding on to them.
Not okay. Okay. To be fair, a lot was going on,
Mhm.
and I'm sorry.
Make a
I was worried that if we didn't.
Keep going.
I was worried if we didn't patch things up, that you would just leave. And that's stupid and selfish, and I'm sorry.
Make a persuasion check at advantage.
Your music's screwing up again.
31 for a natural 20.
He sort of takes a moment to compose himself. Well, I suppose our deal was broken, so you had no reason to want to give them to me.
Also, she didn't want you to leave. Which, I mean, is not, like, a valid reason, but, like, as someone with abandonment issues, I kind of understand.
She wasn't going to have an argument with you, only to use you for your magic. Sorry, Hermia.
Rory starts to take out the items. And yeah, Gale's broken, so this isn't part of a pact. This is not a transaction. This is just a gift. From me to you.
Do you put them on the card box?
Yeah.
As you lay the phoenix pinions and the white dragon claw next to the card box, you watch as they're sort of sucked or like absorbed into it. There are the decorations on the box are very fancy, very like way extra. And amongst them, the most prominent is in the upper right corner, there is a white dragon, and the bottom left corner, there is a phoenix. And as those are sucked into it, the white dragon slowly vanishes. The phoenix does the same, and there's a sort of aura or a glow about the box that seems to kind of like shatter like glass. And you watch as the form of Gil revitalizes a bit. Like he looked very sort of not old and frail, but compared to the original sort of image of him that he had put on, that he had showed you in the box, it was sort of lively, you know, powerful, sort of genie image. He's been a lot frailer before. You watch as he just sort of seems to be a bit more revitalized, and I think for those of you with a high insight or perception, you get the idea that when he's not specifically trying to show you something, when he's just manifesting, his form is dependent on sort of how he's feeling. So when he's weaker, when he's disconnected from a patron, he sort of is more, you know, like that sort of neglected prisoner. But as he's freed from those bonds, you watch as he sort of revitalizes a bit. And he looks around and has his hands kind of in the air as he's like feeling his fingers, and he takes a deep breath. And he reaches towards one of the onion pancakes and picks it up, and he takes a bite, and then immediately spits it out and goes, "No, it's terrible. I'm sorry. I can't even pretend. That's atrocious."
His onion is not the best of his culinary creations. The berry ones are
The berry ones are actually pretty good.
He
yeah.
picks up the card box, and it seems to have sort of lost the shine that it had to it. And he hands it to you, Corey. "Well, I won't be needing this anymore."
Corey runs into his arms.
He wraps his arms around you. This is the first...
Oh my gosh, you're real. And you smell like old card box.
I do not smell like old... That's a lie. I don't smell like old card box.
He smells kind of like a bookstore.
I don't smell old. I can smell any way that I want. He snaps his fingers and he smells like cotton candy.
Oh, well, I like the bookstore better, but cotton candy's good too. We got plenty of spare rooms if you ever want to hang out.
I'll be honest with you, this is the first time that I have been free for as long as I can remember.
Oh my gosh. Night on the town. Let's go.
He kind of steps back, his hands on your shoulders. I don't want to lie to you, Corey. But I also don't know how to say this in a way that I know isn't going to at least sound bad. But I want to go. I don't know where, and I'm not going to just leave you. You've given me a second chance, you've given me freedom, and you are the only one who has ever even... No one's ever thought to use anything that I've given them in any way for myself, but I just have this... I want to see... I want to choose to go and see something. if that makes sense.
Hermia nods. I understand. I was the same way when I left home.
Thank you, Hermia. I was talking to Corey.
Oh, my bad. We were just kind of here, like, in the midst of everything. So, sorry. I'm gonna go be awkward over here. And she, like, kind of sidesteps out of the room.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah,
He takes your hands in his and puts the card box in it. You can talk to me through this. Works better than a sending stone. You can also use it like when it was my vessel and we were connected. And there's probably a little bit of other magic in it that, once the unknowing or the all-knowing, unseen forces of the universe that shapes our world and the decisions we make decides what it does, I'm sure you will discover those powers and that magic. I will be back. And I will bring souvenirs.
Do you at least want a tour? Do you have to leave right now?
Sure. Give me a tour of Chateau de Corée. And as you give Gil a tour around the manor, pointing out where you're going to eventually put a teleportation circle, he walks up to it and kind of draws this long circle around it as sort of, this magic and these wisps of purple will begin to sort of come off of it like in the way that when a fire first goes out, that sort of thick smoke that comes off of it. And nothing happens. And he goes, well, I tried. Teleportation circles are very delicate, powerful magic. I thought maybe I could speed it up, but...
Oh, it's okay. It looks cool, and your little flare on there.
That'll fade in a minute. I think that being free from the box, I'm not as powerful as I was when I was in it. I can feel that. I don't know. I suppose there's some meta-contextual thing about being a prisoner of the powers you have, and once you're free, blah, 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 blah. So I'm not as strong and powerful as I was, but now I can, go places. So it's a trade-off, I suppose.
I know you have to do this.
I don't. No, that's important. I don't have to do this, but I want to, and it's the first thing that I have ever been able to do, that I want to do, and it's only me making the decision. And you don't have to or need to come with me.
Or gives him a sad smile.
Which is a little sad.
I know. Once this is done, we save the world, then hell yeah, road trip.
I will find my 5 favorite places on Exandria, and I'll show those to you.
Sounds good.
He gives you a hug.
I'm gonna miss you, Gil.
Well, I'll be right back.
And Corey will give Gil some gold on the way, because he broke.
Shit, I am.
Yep. Oh God, I'm poor.
That's all right. I think I can.
Freedom isn't so fun when you realize.
I can figure that out. I think I'll be fine. Did Faye need a ride back home? I know her and the little elf girl's mother were waiting for the turtle. I could probably stop by and, pop them into their homes
really?
on the way. Yeah, sure.
I look at Roz. I'm like, and I say in her head, "Are you fine if he gives them a ride home? I can just say he can take Faye."
So Saris and Evelyn are already gone. He was
Yeah,
talking
Saris and
about.
Evelyn
He was talking about
Whoopsie, whoopsie.
little elf girl is Timavra.
Yeah, that would be really. That would be great. Thank you.
Love girl.
All right. So they come back down. All right. Points to Maeve.
Yes.
Mavra, Timavra, and Faye. I can take Faye and your mother home before I go to wherever it is that I'm going to go.
Very well. Do you know where my mother needs to go? She's at the special entrance in the Pallid Grove.
Yes, I was there, dear.
Okay, just making sure.
Tina's
very
like,
well.
so no tree door? No, dear, this will
no.
be much faster and more pleasant than walking through some old musty tree. So say your goodbyes. Faye wraps her arms around you, Corey, and gives you a kiss.
When you talk to your parents, make me sound really cool and responsible, so that
They
they
know that
feel-
you're a prince of the summer court.
Yeah, but like a
They
cool, responsible, like in the fairy tales, like a handsome, kind of prince, so that they'll say yes when you tell them you want to come out
From the
here.
doorway, you hear Zana goes, in most Fae fairy tales, the Fae kidnap or murder people.
Okay, not those ones, but like Exandrian fairy tales.
Sorry,
Yeah. Faye goes, don't worry. Your mother gives you a hug, Maeve.
I hug her too. I thank her for coming and for writing to Chandra, and I tell her I'll let her know if I hear anything.
All right. Well, be safe, and hopefully next time your father will feel well enough to come as well.
I hope so. I hope he's continues to heal. And tell him I appreciate the not a poncho, it was a cloak.
A cloak, yeah.
Cloak.
Yep.
Yeah. I appreciate the cloak, and I look forward to using it when it's cold.
She hugs you tightly. Her and Faye walk over next to Gil. He gives a bit of a bow, puts a hand around each of their shoulders, and in a puff of purple smoke and sort of fairy-looking dust, very, Disney magic, they are gone.
Okay.
Evelyn and Saris got home fine. And it seems Faye and Thienna hopefully will as well. Corey, you hear through the sending stone. Corey, I just need you to know that we are home and we are safe and everything was fine. I love you.
Okay, gosh.
Don't sound so panicky.
Yeah, what the hell?
Gil thought it would be funny. It kind of was.
Oh, gosh.
You hear in your head, sorry.
Well, I suppose we have a very overdue appointment with the king.
I
Yes.
suppose
We
do.
have to.
Sounds like,
Yes, we do.
do, actually.
Wait.
Xenatol sent me a message as I was leaving the Cobalt Soul. They're going to be ready for us. So we are to head to his place, and then we'll be escorted to meet the king.
Should we
But
go
before
now?
we do that, we have to open a package. Where's
A what?
Zana's present?
Oh God.
What?
What?
Are you talking
Sorry?
about?
Xenatol brought you a
Leo.
housewarming present.
Xenatol did
Oh,
what
gosh.
And he brought you a
Oh,
housewarming
gosh.
present.
Well, yeah, housewarming present.
now? He was here?
Yeah, it was kind of weird.
Yeah, he wanted to just leave, but then Evelyn invited him in for tea, and he got really awkward. It was kind of funny, but also really awkward.
I look at Zana. I guess this is when we were gone.
I did not say anything to him this time. I was good.
I just look at Sana.
She doesn't seem to be looking at any of you. It's kind of like this, like the gears are moving, not necessarily like lost in thought. She's just suddenly removed from the conversation, and the gears in her head are just turning as she just seems to be processing in some way.
I walk over and put a hand on her shoulder.
She kind of...
If you want, we can blow it up.
Not. She doesn't flinch necessarily, but there is just a bit of like realizing what she was doing and like clicking back into reality.
It's okay. Do you want to open it? We don't have to.
You can shoot it. Blow it up.
We don't have to now.
It's fine. Let's just get ready. I will meet you at Xenatol's place. And she turns and leaves.
Roz gonna go put her armor on.
Yeah, same. Let's just put the box away for now. We'll take maybe a look at it later.
Leo, why would you say it like that?
Well, I thought she would like to open a present from her father.
Okay,
This is
Leo.
read the room, man.
Yeah,
it's just
have you ever
weird.
heard
How
of
much
love
time
bombing,
you
Leo?
talk about him being a bad man.
This is
Listen,
clearly a manipulation tactic. My parents were famous for it.
I mean, that was out of character for him. I think he does love her, at least, as a father.
I don't know, Leo. It's none of our business. If she wants to share, she will.
it's complicated, and for now, I think it's good that we know it exists, and we'll just kind of see how she
Also,
wants to take care of it.
Didn't we learn our lesson when me and Corey meddled in Roz's family affairs? And how invasive that was?
I mean,
Oh,
clearly
yeah.
not.
We never did get our rain check.
Unless Hermia gets real cool about some things, I think that's gonna be a
Unless everyone gets really cool about a lot of things real quickly.
I mean, technically, because Zana's a changeling, you could, at least Maeve could get her rain check.
Hermia looks at you guys and turns beet red and is like, I'm gonna go to Xenatol's. Bye.
Yeah, I'm gonna go put my armor on.
Yeah, I'm gonna get ready.
All right.
Get Luster inside.
Mhm.
Get Luster with me.
So, as you all gather and head across the Shimmering Ward to Xenatol's place, Zealous, you notice it first. A bird moving through the sky above you, motionless, the way it just kind of floats on the wind, and begins to swoop down towards you, heading straight for Maeve.
Is it a paper bird?
Did you do or say anything, Zealous?
I'm gonna stop and point to the bird and say, "Bird."
As you all turn to
a paper
look,
bird?
I look at this bird.
a paper bird flies up in front of Maeve, and as you hold your hands out, it lands into your hands and unfurls itself.
I read it.
Do you want me to
Trap.
send it
I'm gonna
to
burn it.
you or read it?
Sure, why don't you send it to me and I'll read it out loud.
You got it.
I cast Fireball.
What's why?
Counterspell.
No.
Counterspell your counterspell.
Since we can just talk about spells I know we don't have.
Yeah. Yeah.
As you open it up, I think you recognize from the way that it is addressed, it is from your sister, using a nickname that you probably haven't heard in a very, very, very long time. but feel free to read it if you would like. Are you reading it to yourself first?
Yeah, sorry.
No,
Okay.
read it.
Okay.
What's the bird say?
Dear little wolf, thank you for the letters. The ones from Mom and Dad were unexpected, but I suppose we're never too old to learn or change our ways. The question is whether we do so in time. I'm sorry for how our interactions have been over the past few months. I, of all people, should know that you cannot simply tell one to change course on their heart without reason. I wish I could see you in person for this, because I fear I don't have the parchment or ink to properly convey. But even if we were face to face, I may not have the words either to spare you the damage they would do. Little wolf, my words in the past were short and curt because I don't want you to help. I wanted a world where you could grow up and choose your fancy, not follow father's directives. I think most parents, most families want that for the younger ones. But delivering it is often much more difficult. I love you, Time Avra, and one day we will reunite. But just as you cannot change the course of your heart, neither can I. Tell Mother and Father I love them. Love, Shauna. On a separate piece of parchment, hastily written, P.S. I struggled on whether or not to include this, so I must be brief while I still have my nerve. Please guard yourself with Kalen. What remains of his heart is good, and his intentions are often beautiful. But when he speaks of fleeting happiness and society's tendencies to jump for moments from heartbreak and sadness, that the good times are just stops along the way, that philosophy does not preclude him.
Ugh.
Okay. So she reads that part out loud, and as she reads that PS, she's just kind of trailing off.
Roz has a look on her face of,
So Kaylin
You know-
knows your sister?
Kaylin had mentioned another person traveling with him that had been against our relationship.
oh, Kaylin, no.
Like, and he didn't tell you?
No, he said that she would want to show herself someday.
All right. Never mind. We're not going to the king. We're going to kick Kaylin's ass.
Oh my god.
It's kind of shitty.
That's
Oh.
very shitty.
Why? What is going on?
Also,
Bring it to you later, Zealous.
Oh, okay.
I have many feelings. But I agree, we should kick his ass.
Maeve, how you doing?
She kind of stares at all of this blankly and just kind of grits her teeth a little bit. I'm not sure who to be more mad at. At Kaylin for keeping potentially my sister in secret identity from me, or my sister insisting on continuing to push me away.
Yeah. Roz will offer you a hug if you'll accept it.
She will. She's just kind of in shock, I think.
Yeah.
At this piece of news, and is also just, I think I think with what we have coming up right now, it's kind of this feeling of like, do we really have time to really process this? And she knows there's nothing she can do about it. She's not been able to contact Kaylin for a while now. So it's not like she can go pull him off the sending stone and be like, what the fuck was that? And her sister is and this is the most her sister has talked to her, and it's still a, sorry, not sorry kind of a message. So she just kind of puts it away and takes a deep breath. Let's focus on the king first.
Okay. And then tonight, we drink, we eat ice cream, and we talk about how fat your sister's getting.
If we're not in prison afterwards.
Well, we'll just
We can
get
do it
the
in
ice
prison
cream in
too.
prison.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, we can do it in prison.
Like, we might get arrested, but we definitely have earned some ice cream prison. Prison ice cream.
An ice cream prison sounds really cool, actually.
Yeah.
Do
Prison
you really
alcohol's
think
not
you'd be
that
able
great,
to
though.
keep us in prison?
No, definitely not. Roz will put an arm around Maeve as they walk.
He's just kind of looking at. She looks at the letter, and you can tell by the way she's holding it that there's a little bit of her that like the rage wants to probably crumple it up, throw it away, or rip it in half. But she seems to think a little bit better on it and just folds it up and puts it away for now.
All right. It doesn't take you long to get to Xenatol's. It's a 15-20 minute walk. Walk up to the door. Before you have a chance to knock, it opens. And on the other side, you see a older human gentleman that I think 2 times you've been here, you haven't seen. Salt and pepper hair that's kind of slicked back, neatly trimmed, very sharp, angular features, well-maintained beard and these gray eyes. He's wearing a dark-tailored waistcoat with this sort of silver embroidery. And as he opens it up, he goes, the second chances. We've been expecting you. Please, this way I shall take you to Lady Xenatol, or Lord Xenatol and Lady Zana. My apologies.
No worries.
This is the first time we've met. My name is Sebastian. It's a pleasure to meet all of you. I've overheard quite a bit. Please, this way.
Thank you.
You follow him through the foyer, up some stairs, down a long hallway, and it seems to be taking you in the direction of where the first time that you had came here, you had appeared in like a teleportation room, which was up in sort of one of the towers of the manor. That took you down these stairs and past sort of like an arcane laboratory, like an office space of Xenatol's. Seems he's sort of taking you in that direction. As you get closer, you can hear some voices. He sort of turns and goes, wait here just a moment and I will let them know of your arrival. Seems he's sort of stopped you a bit further away, having heard that they are talking, so that he can let them know that, hey, you're here before you maybe overhear too much. Anyone who would like to may make a perception check to try and hear what is being said. The voices do sound strained, or it's not a fight, but 2 people are talking with some level of intensity. Corey, there's a really fucking cool piece of art on the wall of like what's probably an air genasi, but it actually looks a lot like Gil, and that's really weird. That like does it really, or do you just miss him already and like you're seeing Gil in things? Leo, Zealous, and Maeve.
Mm-hmm.
You hear fragments of it. And it seems it's mostly Zana wanting to know why he would send a gift. You can't quite hear like Xenatol's side of it. He seems to be keeping his cool or his emotions more in check. And she's not angry. She just seems very energized about it, and just very like she wants to know like why. Like the way that you get when you finished a puzzle and you need one more piece and you can't find where it is, and someone's like, well, it's done. Like you're missing the one, but it's basically done. And it's like, no, you don't understand. It's not. I need to find this piece. He knocks on the door. They stop. He opens it up. The second chances. Here's Xenatol. See them in, please. And you are all escorted in. He's sitting at his desk. Zana is leaned up against a bookcase arms crossed, her usual no emotions on her face whatsoever. Maeve.
Yeah.
How do you appear right now?
Stony-faced. Which I think, like, she's not necessarily showing... I think someone who doesn't know Maeve would just think she's being, serious, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you coming to meet Xenatol. She knows how you feel about Xenatol, so you're like a serious mode.
Yeah, but also, I don't know. I feel like anybody who knows Maeve knows it's also her just trying to not.
She's going to make an insight check to see if she can pick up that something's wrong. I would like you to decide, are you trying to hide it from her, or are you just trying to, like, we're dealing with something else, I can save that till later?
More of the latter.
Okay.
I also just don't think Maeve is good at hiding.
Yeah,
is the problem.
that's fine.
You know what I mean?
I mean,
like,
technically these are going to use the same stat anyway, but it's just sort of the intention behind it. I would like you, unless you want to argue for something different, make a persuasion check.
That's fine. Yeah. She technically has advantage, I guess, on that. So.
Well, I'll tell you what. Zana's 4 that she just rolled, I don't think is going to be
enough to make it.
Oh, wait, no, never mind. She has a plus 13 in insight, so that's a 17.
So funny.
So
yeah, that tracks, though.
Yeah, so
I mean,
as you enter, she's obviously trying to hide how she's feeling right now, too, knowing that some of you may have overheard. So she just gives you this look like she's trying to clock how you feel. And I think as you walk in and you're also just in, like, that mode, she kind of cocks her head a little bit like she would have expected a look of, like, concern towards her. And so when you don't give that...
Yeah, that's fair.
She's a little, like, put off by that now, too. So
that's completely
it's a great day for Zana and Maeve, okay, is what I'm trying to say here.
Do I notice that she's giving me this look?
I think that there's just, like, yeah.
I'd like to describe the kind of look I'm giving her, which is an apologetic look, and I think she's just going to kind of glance toward her hand before trying to, like, just offer a sort of comforting, tight smile, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, she just kind of nods a bit, like, we'll talk about whatever this is later, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Welcome, Second Chances. I hope that your... not quite a vacation, but your time with family helped to recharge you.
It was a good time, and we appreciate your involvement in pushing this back when we returned.
It wasn't too difficult. The king didn't know exactly when it was that you would be back, but the time that you have been away has allowed me over the past couple months to, let's say, tip scales back in our favor. Because of the words of Archmage Astrid Beck, there was concern for those that knew of who you were and what little information there was around your mission or what you were doing. There were a lot that were concerned that you were a liability at best and a threat at worst. Had you been taken to the king at that time with the little proof and evidence that we had to your mission, I am fairly confident that they would have responded in a reactionary and defensive way. But you have done a lot of good on the Menagerie Coast. And because of the information that has been accumulated by the Cobalt Soul, along with my own studies, and we'll get to what I've discovered in a minute, between myself and the Cobalt Soul, the King's impressions of you have shifted considerably. So the time has been well spent and will work in our favor. The meeting today was put together a little bit last minute. We still have a few hours before we need to show up there, so talking about the expectations, what to expect, I think would be prudent of us. For example, your visit to the Far Realm to seek out the Crawling King's prison in order to bring back a piece of it for a hag. The king doesn't need to know of any of that. I would also, Lady Roslyn, if anyone were to ask, the likeness on your shield is whatever it is you want to come up with that isn't the change bringer, given the way that she is perceived here in the Empire.
I'll just elect not to answer. I'm not a good liar.
I have concerns over discussing too much of my homeland and what my people suffer with.
I don't expect that that should be much of a concern. It is outside of the purview of the Empire. King Bertrand is a lot more concerned with protecting his own people and the threats from within. I can do a majority of the talking. As far as specifics go that would affect the Empire, his people. Obviously answer questions when he asks them. If you would prefer to elect one of you that is good at, let's say, court decorum, manners, and that decorum will go a lot further in court than you may think. So please think before you speak. I know that some of you have certain type of relationships with authority. Do try to keep that in check.
What exactly are... I mean, sorry, maybe I missed something, but what are we... Are we being accused of something?
No, you're not being accused of anything. They know that you are heroes, that you are trying to... that you have been given a decree from an extraplanar entity, the intentions of which is still unfortunately something that we cannot prove, but your intentions we can. And you have done good at multiple places throughout the Menagerie Coast. What our mission here is to convince the king and those who will be at this hearing that they would be well served to lend you resources in order to be able to take your mission further than Wildmount. You've already made a few other connections along the way. I believe you were able to foster some goodwill with Lady DeRolo of the Teldore Council and a few of the other marquises from the Clovis Concord, for example.
That's true. I better elect my dragon.
I've been noticing that while the portals first began to materialize within your vicinity, and from what Zana has told me of your conversations with the Oracle, that was to begin with by design. There was something about the proximity to your tattoos, you serving as a sort of conduit and seeking out places of great change that caused those to be connected and rooted to you in some way. But as time has passed and these portals have begun to grow, they have started to manifest further and further away. Which means that we're going to need help in locating more if they begin to appear on other continents, especially if they end up being in remote locations. I have been working on a number of strategies in that regard, different ways to implement and benefit from this cosmic magic that comes from your tattoos, from the Oracle, from this architect. I do believe that eventually I may be able to devise a way to use a divination spell to attempt to track them. So part of what we're going to be doing is essentially convincing the king and the council there to aid us in whatever way they can. So they will have questions that you no doubt have been asked by other leaders or other groups before. But King Bertrand will be able to connect you with other leaders who actually have the resources and and reasons to want to aid and help you, and not simply know that they're safe.
Many of the leaders we've spoken to have not had much interest in what we've had to say.
Yes, I am aware. The Council of Pallid Elves, for example, are more interested in hiding now, for good reason. Having their homeland fall into corruption the way that it has. The last time that something like that happened, they went underground. They withdrew. They went on the defensive. So it makes sense that that's what they would do again. But the king has an entire country to watch over, and he will have two choices. To go on the defensive and lock you up, which is what he may have done months ago when there wasn't any information to suggest that letting you do your work would be more beneficial. But we have evidence that going on the offensive and aiding you is the best way to combat the potential threat against the people of the Empire.
All we can give him is the truth.
That's all that I ask.
Does he know anything of the Plague of Eyes and those exploits?
Yes, and
he knows of the Plague of Eyes. That is, I believe, a separate thing. I know it is connected in some way, but we don't have any evidence to suggest how yet. The attack on the Solstice Academy is still something that worries some of the higher-ups. But we don't...
Has Elena shown any improvement?
Not to my knowledge. There will be other members of the Cerberus Assembly there that will perhaps be able to provide more information on that. The Cerberus Assembly isn't a... Peers is the friendliest way to describe our relationships with one another, so I have not been privy to Miss Burnwright's condition or news about it. Positions in the Cerberus Assembly are not something you apply for or something that are given. They are positions that are taken. So, questions of the Plague of Eyes may come up. As Timaver said, answer them as truthfully as you can. And I will do my best to fill in what gaps and holes in knowledge we may have, so as to appease him.
We speak in there, and I'm asking because it's the flippin' king. If we were to, say, cast magics to make us seem more appealing, I'm assuming those wouldn't work in the throne room.
I would advise against it. If there is anything you think you could better convey through magical means, ask before you begin to cast something out of the blue. Definitely don't cast anything on the king.
No, that's not what I meant. It was more like enhanceability or something. But, I mean, could we let them know that we would consent to something like, I don't know, a zone of truth or something?
They aren't concerned with whether or not you're going to lie. Again, your deeds from the Menagerie Coast, everything that you have done through here, throughout the Empire, they all speak to your motivations and to your character. The biggest concern that anyone has is that we don't understand the true intentions of the entity that have given you these powers, and whether or not you're in over your heads. Not in terms of you can't deal with it. You obviously have. You survived a run-in with a betrayer god. The concern is that
Roz notably flinches.
The concern is that we may not understand the consequences and the ramifications of the actions that we take in pursuit of your mission, whether successful or not.
Unfortunately, I don't think we'll have a lot more to offer on that than what is known.
I'm aware. So speak true, speak your hearts, and even if they ask you tough questions that may make you uncomfortable, you must remember that they are the leaders of all the people of Wildmount. And when they make miscalculations, people die and suffer. So if that means that you must deal with answering questions that may bruise your ego, or that you've answered before and make you feel as though you aren't being taken seriously, with all due respect, get over it. Are there any other questions or concerns that any of you have?
What happens if he decides to lock us up?
We fight our way out.
You do
What
not.
question is that?
He puts up a hand. If, for some reason, this goes horribly wrong, and they lock you up, that is the best case scenario. You allow them to, and we will get you out. The people who are going to be in that throne room, if you try to resist arrest, which it's not going to come to because we're going to behave ourselves. If you tried to resist arrest in that throne room, you wouldn't have to worry about being locked up.
Okay.
Now, how about some good news?
We could use some good news.
He grabs a box off of his desk. He stands up, places it in front of him. And he comes out from behind his desk towards all of you, and walks up to a sort of longer table over on the side of the room and gestures for you all to come over. Sets this box down. It's maybe about the size of like an encyclopedia. It's like a jewelry box of some sort. Opening it up, inside you see 7 like bracers, not quite bracelets, a little bit thicker, that are sort of set in there along each other. They are made out of brass, and they have a white kind of mineral or like stone kind of like going through or around the center of it. I think you all would recognize it as being the same color as residuum, which is made from white stone. This seems to be white stone in its unrefined form. And then it has embedded in it this small pink gem that is cut into a rectangular shape. It's about an inch long, half an inch wide, and about as thin as a gold piece, and it's set into it. This is, I suppose, an experiment. I call it a cosmic focus gem. Wearing this should allow you to focus some of the energy or some of the power that is innate to your tattoos, that cosmic energy, to use it to boost some of your natural talents. There's one in there for each of you.
Sorry, for those of us who don't really know magic very well, what does that mean?
I don't know yet. As I said, it's one of the things that I've been working on as I have tried to understand this power source that each of you have within you. I believe you can do more with it than just close or open portals. I think that you can use it to bolster yourselves as well, and these should help you to do that.
Roz will take one out and put it on her organic wrist.
Dave will take one out as well.
Snap it around.
I look to Zana to see if she's going to take one.
She walks up and takes one as well. Does anyone not take one?
Is it fashionable?
Yeah, well, it's pretty good.
I'll take it. No worries.
Hermia?
She left the Discord.
Oh, didn't say anything anywhere?
Nope. That's why I was asking.
She mentioned a
if
ways
okay.
up. She had to go.
Yeah.
Someone give me the cliff notes for stuff I missed. She said.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, I think she just ran to the bathroom. Okay. All right. We'll say that Hermia picks hers up and just kind of taking a look at it because I know how she feels about Mr. Xenatol.
No, there's definitely a feeling like, is this gonna be another one of those goddamn listening devices?
As Hermia clicks hers into place, all of you are teleported away back to the far realm.
Great.
So, I will let you all know a little bit about what this can do, but some of what it can do you'll have to wait and discover for yourself. But this magic item enhances the potency of your innate talents and abilities. So whenever you make a D20 test, you can roll a D4 and add that to the result of your D20 test. You can do this a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus.
Your music again.
Oops. That's the wrong channel. Also, hello. I see you, Bold Mordred. Thank you so much for the raid. We appreciate it. If we have a mod in the chat, could we please get a shout out for Bold Mordred? All right. Music is back. All right. So, this magic item enhances the potency of your innate talents and abilities. Whenever you make a D20 test, you can roll 1d4 and add that number to your result. You can use this property a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, regaining expended uses on a long rest. So you basically get proficiency bonus number of your own little bardic inspo. And there are other things that you will discover as you use them. So you can use it on ability checks, saving throws, or attack rolls.
Basically a guidance a number of times equal to proficiency bonus.
Yeah, pretty much a free guidance. Okay. Yep.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
All right. So we have probably about an hour before we should head to the throne room. Please go ahead and avail yourselves of anything within the manner that you'd like. If you need anything, simply ask Sebastian.
Do we have to take off our armor and weapons?
I don't think that should be an issue, considering that I am accompanying you. I have spoken for and put my reputation on the line for all of you, and being a member of the Cerberus Assembly. Again, had this been happening 2 months ago, it would be a very different type of meeting, but we are on very good grounds now. Really, the only one that we will have to worry too much about is Astrid, who perhaps your association with me in that regard is doing a bit less for you than it would otherwise, but she shouldn't be a problem.
She's still salty over us not taking her quest.
She's much younger than most of the other members of the Cerberus Assembly. She replaced a man that was using his position for selfish and, quite frankly, evil gains. He needed to be replaced. He had lost focus and lost sight of what our mission in the Assembly is. And I think that she sees that in a lot of the more senior members.
I suppose that is the dangers of a organization where positions are taken.
Indeed. If there's anything else you need, do let me know, but I'm going to spend the last hour before we leave preparing a bit more. Zana walks out of the room. And you are free. Nope, he's staying in here. He's in his office. He's kind of like looking at all of you like...
Oh, get out of his office.
Go on.
Understood.
Yep.
I thought he was leaving.
Yep.
All right, I leave too.
Mm-hmm. All right. So yeah, you feel free to explore around Xenatol's mansion, I suppose, if you want. Or
There
if
you
there's
go,
anyone,
Zealous. Now you can explore the mansion.
if there's anyone you want to chat with in this hour before heading to the castle to meet the king, you may. But you have about an hour to prepare anything or ask any further questions or
Roz is
come
just
up
going to
with
go sit and focus somewhere.
Yep, any sort of strategies. Zealous, if you want to go burn a bunch of spell slots in front of people to be like, guys, help me figure this out, you can, but...
And I'll approach Zana, but that
Yep.
can be whenever.
Yeah, did you have something, Corey?
Go ahead.
Nope. Go ahead. I'll speak to Maeve after.
Oh, no, you can go to me first if you want.
Oh. Hey, sorry, I know you're dealing with a lot right now.
It's okay. What is it?
No, I just I know everyone's kind of doing their own thing and stuff, but I think that I think we would do the best if you explained.
If I explained?
Yeah.
She looks genuinely surprised at that.
You were the one who was first contacted by the Oracle.
And you spoke to your own people. I saw you, and
It
I
makes
think
sense.
Yeah. Roz may lead us in combat, but I think outside of that, you're the closest thing we have to a leader.
And if you get nervous, you can channel me. +11. I look at Roz.
You just
Probably
said
not
plus 11.
Yep. Probably not as good, but
Roz is only a +9.
oh,
What are we talking about? I'm just kidding.
And Roz has a distinct problem with authority, so you definitely don't want her talking.
Okay. I can do so. I just hope I don't look like a farm hick girl or something in Rexentrum.
I
Oh my
promise
gosh.
you are not a farm girl or a hick.
Okay. Yeah, if everyone agrees, I can be the spokesperson for the second chances with the king.
Maeve,
Yes.
if one of them asks me who's on my shield, my most likely answer is going to be your mother. So, yeah, it should probably be you.
What if
Well.
we leave the shield here, Zana suggests?
Leave that up to Roz. It could be a helpful thing, if only because we are ideally not going to be in battle, but if you would like to keep it on your person, perhaps just keep it on your back.
She nods.
Could also put it in a bag of holding. So
Actually, I have a better idea. She calls Sebastian over and says something to him, and he nods and kind of walks off.
You have to get a cool cloak. Go ahead.
She turns to you, Maeve.
Oh, yeah.
Did I miss something?
She winces. I would wait to show this to you, but everybody else already knows, so there's not really much point. And by the way, she'll say this in her head to Zana. I'm sorry, Xenatol's being cagey. But she will, out loud, just kind of glance away and show her the letter.
Mm-hmm. She doesn't respond back, even in your head, to the comment about Xenatol.
That's okay. I just wanted her to know that I was aware,
Yeah.
and I am worried.
She scans over it. All right. She just kind of nods and hands it back to you. Great.
I haven't fully processed it, so it's okay. I don't need...
I'm here. That's about all I have to offer.
She reaches in, squeezes her hand. That's all I need. I'll face this once I know we are safe from the King's ire.
All right. If no one had anything else that they wanted to do,
I think so.
what can I steal? Oh,
Damn it, Leo!
you can try to steal whatever you want to.
No!
Sebastian comes back and has a shield cover that he offers to Roz that you can use to store your shield in when you're not using it to A, keep it safe from the elements, and so that people can't see any of the designs on it.
She holds a hand up. It's fine. If I'm asked who it is, I'll say it is my mother. A description of her, or a depiction of her.
No, very well. All right, well, I don't know why anyone never wants this free teleporting shield thing. Walks off again.
Wait,
I'll
what?
take it. I'll take it.
It specifically has to go on a magic shield, otherwise it's useless.
teleport. Can you teleport with it?
No, it just teleports your shield around, sorry.
Oh.
So with that, Xenatol comes down. You all gather and make your way towards the castle to meet with and have an audience with King Bertrand Dwendal of the Dwendalian Empire. And that's where we will pick up next time.
No pressure.